Welcome back to the Bourbon Note, everybody. I'm Ben. I got a toasted rye on the bar. Let's get into it. So on the bar tonight, I've got, bam, this is a sample of Michter's Barrel Strength Toasted Rye, courtesy of Whiskey Tube's official sample ambassador, non-bike riding Dave Vogelsing. Thank you very, very much, Dave. If you watch this channel regularly, you've probably seen a few sample reviews from Dave lately. He sent a killer sample pack not that long ago, and I'm very, very much enjoying making my way through these samples. So thank you again, Dave. I've never had the toasted rye before. I don't think I've ever had any toasted ryes before, so that'll be new to me in general. I have had the barrel strength rye from Michter's. So this will be interesting. Now, as I said in my last review of kind of a premium level Michter's product, I said back then I was 50-50 on them. Now I'm probably like 60-40 on them. I think they're good, but I don't really know that I've had one that I would pay the premium kind of price level for. From everything I could find, this runs about like $120 to $130 MSRP, as per the internet. So take that for what it's worth. Anyway, on the nose, ooh, that's actually got a really nice nose. It's got like a very prominent oak, and I feel like I say this on toasted oak products, but it might be power of suggestion, but they do smell and taste toasted. I don't know, there's something about it. It just kind of gives you a different sort of vibe than just like a charred oak. But again, that could be just because I know that's what it is. If you gave me this blind, I might not come up with that. I'll admit that. But then it's got some really dark, rich rye flavors. It doesn't, on the nose, lean into like the clove and sort of like allspice, but it kind of has that like, I don't know, like buttery rye muffin. A nice dark, just kind of overall, it's a dark whiskey on the nose. Let's see what happens on the palate. Cheers. On that first sip, that's pretty damn good whiskey right there. Definitely a noticeable strong rye. Maybe not leaning into, I don't know what the rye content is on this, but you know, some ryes that are 100% rye have the very, very aggressive rye flavors. This has aggressive rye flavors, but maybe not quite to that level. And for all I know, it could be 100% rye. Maybe it's just, you know, a little more mellow than that. But I feel like it's got a really, really nice balance of those kind of rye spice flavors. It's got the nice, definitely a strong oak note, but it's a very, on the palate, it's a little more, I said it was dark on the nose, but that oak note on the palate that came across as a little more toasted comes across as a little more like a charred barrel on the palate. I don't really get the toasted sort of influence from it on the palate quite as much, but it's really good. Those kind of rye notes that I talked about on the nose, like that, reminds you of like a rye muffin or something like that. Definitely there on the palate. And it's interesting because it's got a great mix of sweetness and spice. But on one hand, I can't really point out exactly what the sweetness is. Usually on ryes or very high rye bourbons, vanilla is kind of a common one. Certainly on rye whiskeys, vanilla, to me anyway, kind of becomes the more dominant sweet note, whereas on bourbons, usually it's like caramel. That's there, but it feels like there's some other stuff along with it that, I don't know, just didn't quite put my finger on that first sip. Let's get into the second one. On the second sip, this got even better on the second sip. I noticed some of that underlying sweetness is kind of a brown sugar sweetness, actually. So there's a little bit of that vanilla, that brown sugar, but that dark, rich oak note that shows up, it blends very, very nicely with those, and then kind of has like the rye spices on top of it. It's unmistakably a rye whiskey. It definitely has all the standard rye notes. But like I said, it doesn't really lean into that clove sort of area quite as much. That's just something I usually get, like clove, allspice, sometimes a little black licorice. Not necessarily that stuff, just a general rye flavor. But it's balanced out great with everything else that's in it. And there's one note that I couldn't quite put my finger on, and I'm slightly getting it. It's a bubble gum, like gumball note. Where, do you remember, like back in like, I don't know, like in the 80s, these were like a penny. You put a penny in the gumball machine. They were the smaller gumballs, came in multiple different colors. I think they all kind of tasted the same, if I remember. But if nothing else, the white ones. Because they weren't like a peppermint or anything like that. It was just like a general weird small gumball flavor. I don't think they were even like fruit ones involved with the ones that I'm talking about. They all just kind of taste the same, but there are multiple colors. Let me know in the comments if you know what I'm talking about. If you do, there's a slight flavor of that in here. And I don't really know how to describe that flavor. I guess maybe there was a slight mint influence to it, but that's not the main thing. And mint is not an uncommon thing to get off of a rye whiskey. But anyway, now I'm going off on bubblegum. But yeah, let me know for sure if any of you guys remember those. They were like a white one, red one, green one, beige one. I'm just kidding, don't need beige gumballs. But yeah, they were all, yeah, I don't know. Anyway, moving right along. Also, you probably noticed I did bust out another bottle here. This is actually just the regular barrel strength rye from Michter's. So I want to do a little comparison. Seeing as that I've never had a toasted barrel rye before, I wanted to see what the difference between these two is. And this probably won't show up on camera, but looking down at them against the dark surface of the bar, the toasted barrel rye is considerably darker. And so, I mean, obviously, I don't know if it says toasted finish rye. So I don't know if it was finished in a toasted barrel, or sometimes I know they'll toast a barrel to a certain level to get deeper into the wood, and then they char it after that, and that imparts different flavors. So when it comes to toasted barrel stuff, I have no idea they don't give you all the information, so it could be, you know, one of many different explanations as to how they actually do that. But I just want to see what the difference is between these two. So since they're both Michter's rye products, they're both 110. It's 110.4, 110.6. I'm just going to raw dog these. I just want to see from tasting this one, which on my right is the toasted finish rye, which is what this review is, and see if there's what the noticeable difference is, if any. I'm sure there's going to be some going to the regular rye. But in conclusion on the toasted finish rye review, this one, if of all the kind of premium level Michter's products I've had, this would be the one that I would consider paying the premium price point. This is really, really good. And yeah, I don't know how rare it is. I mean, most of these Michter's products I'll probably never see anyway. I happen to see this one. I've seen one other, like a 10-year rye in the wild, and that's it. So I don't anticipate getting a hold of one of these. But if I saw it for MSRP, the 120-ish range, given how hard it is to find, I wouldn't mind having a bottle of this on the shelf. So I may pay that price point. So anyway, let's get into the comparison here real quick. So I'm going to get one more sip off of this. Yeah, that's good. All right. I'm going to raw dog this first, and then maybe we'll do one with some water. Definitely on the nose. This one's definitely not as bold. There's a lot more jumping out of the glass on the nose of the toasted finish. Let's get into the palate. Cheers. Oh yeah, there's no comparison there. That toasted finish is just claps cheeks on this one, for sure. That being said, excuse me, this one was good. I don't know that I would buy it again. I think I paid 110 bucks for it. I don't know. I mean, having a channel, I tend to buy bottles because I want to explore a lot of different brands and a lot of different expressions. I want to review them. But sometimes when it comes down to rebuying something, that's when I get into well, I'm not rebuying it for the purpose of using it on the channel. I'm solely rebuying it just for the purpose of drinking the whiskey because I like it. And that's when I kind of get down to, for a lot less than this, I can get a Jack Daniel's single barrel proof rye, and I think I like that better. I definitely like it better. So some people complain in the comments when I compare like one bottle to another and say, well, for this price you can get that. That's the reason why I do that. Like, I'm happy to go out and buy one of these just to kind of experiment with it. But once it's done, then I'm just buying it for my personal enjoyment, and there's other stuff I enjoy for cheaper. This one, however, I still say I would consider. I'm going to go back and forth the other way here real quick before we get out of here. And really what I'm doing is trying to even these out for the blend. You know what I'm doing here. This toasted barrel is just much more rich and full. It's a little sharper, but it's sharper in, not like an ethanol bite, it's sharper in flavors. I think the barrel influence, which would make sense, but the barrel influence on this one is much more noticeable. And so it really kind of, you know, I like my whiskey to have a little kick to it. I like it to be a little bit sharp. So for me personally, I'm picking this one all day long. Probably not rebuying that one. Let me know what you feel about that in the comments. I'm going to even this out just a little bit. We'll get into the blend. Okay, this looks like it's going to be a 50-50 blend here, so let's get into it. If you're new to the channel and you're still watching the video at this point, thank you very much. What I do anytime I have more than one whiskey poured on the bar top, always do the blend. So let's get into it. And surprisingly, blending two good whiskeys does not always work out. And even blending two that are very similar to each other, same proof, same brand, same style of whiskey, for some reason it just doesn't always pan out. This one on the nose seems like it's panning out. I don't really know what more to say about it that I haven't already said about the toasted barrel. That's definitely being dominant on this. So, I don't know. Let's see what happens on the palate. Made for a damn good blend. But I think if you got a bottle of this, you can just drink it on your own. I mean, maybe try the blend. It's really good. But the blend is really kind of closer to just the general flavor on this one. So anyway, folks, please like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you very, very much for watching. And thank you, Dave, for the sample. This has been Michter's Barrel Strength Toasted Finish Rye on the Bourbon Note. I'm Ben. See you in the next one.